Hello, you awesome people. Welcome to this lecture. You know, I never thought I would be making this kind of video, but here I am. Recently, I have been pushed into a managerial role, and leadership started involving me in the hiring for technical positions. And let me tell you, it has been an eye opener. Now, look, except for these recent days where I sit as a recruiter, I have mostly been on the other side, a candidate, and I have been rejected plenty of times. Honestly, most of my experiences weren't great. I would come out of the interviews thinking, what a stupid interviewer. This guy was bad. This guy ruined my day. And maybe some of them really were bad. But now that I'm sitting on the other side, I have realized something important. It's not always that simple. Sometimes the candidate isn't blameless either. So today, I'm going to share with you practical tips that can genuinely help you land a job. These are not motivational quotes or the recycled top 10 tricks. Okay? This is real stuff born out of rejections I have faced and the interviews I now conduct. Consider this your shortcut to avoiding embarrassment. Let's start with resume screening. Picture this. It's a Friday evening, you are about to log out, and suddenly HR sends you an email tagging your manager and director. Here are 20 resumes, please screen them. Along with it, they send you an Excel template where you have to give reasons for your decision. Now imagine this, each resume is 2 pages, 20 resumes in total. That's 40 pages of documents you have never seen before. Please tell me, how much will you enjoy going through that when you just want to go home and relax? None at all, right? Well, that's exactly what your screener goes through. And most of the time, the screener is more senior than you, with more obligations, more pressure, and even less time. So do yourself a favor, don't write essays in your resume. Nobody reads them. I repeat, nobody reads them. As I myself doing technical recruitments these days, and I promise you, no one has the time to go line by line. So position your skills in such a way in your resume that they gets highlighted easily and make it easy for the screener to. As a screener, I do not have any bias. If I am rejecting you, I am rejecting because I couldn't find the right keywords in your resume that are required as part of job description. As simple as that. Now, let's talk about how your resume looks. I have seen some of the worst resumes possible. Some people literally put a photo from a party. Some even paste a full-length picture, like it's a modeling portfolio. Come on, we are living in the era of AI, where, believe me, every afternoon a new model is launched and every single one of them is the greatest of all time. That's the world we are in. And still, we are not even using these greatest models to fix something as simple as our resumes. That's just bad, right? Then comes grammar. If you can't even use tools like ChatGPT or Grammarly in this era to fix simple spelling mistakes, that's a problem. Imagine your resume says you are leading a team on cutting edge technology, driving innovation, but you can't fix Azure instead of Azure. How much can I really trust those big claims? Just realize your resume is painting a completely different picture than who you are. In that case, your resume is basically falsifying your story. And honestly, you are rejected right there, isn't it? Next, don't write paragraphs in your resume. Be honest, even you have never read a 10-line block of text in someone's resume. Then why do you think I will? Instead, give me your top skills right at the top in bullet points and make sure these skills are your current skills or ones you actually want to work on. If you put a technology you touched once 10 years ago and I ask about it during the interview, you will be caught. So you must highlight your powerhouse skills. So don't depend on luck. Prepare your resume properly. Yeah? Here is the fix. Screen your own resume. Compare it with your peers or spend a few dollars on AI based resume tools. That's cheaper than losing a six-figure salary because of one stupid typo. I personally use Novo Resume, but you can use any popular resume builder tool. Next, the interview itself. First impression, timing. As a recruiter, I often log in a few minutes early, and then I see candidates join late, even 1 minute late. You might think it's nothing, but for me, it shows you don't respect my time. And there are other candidates out there who are hungrier, sharper, and put in 100% effort. Why should I choose you over them if you are that casual? Why? And let's not even talk about the technical glitches. Everyone faces them. Mics not working, Bluetooth headphones dead, Wi-Fi dropping. But if you didn't prepare and test in advance, that's your problem. Now, the first question. What do you think it is? No, it's not tell me the difference between Docker and Kubernetes. Most likely, it is much simpler. Introduce yourself. I thought everyone prepare for this particular question at least, because this is totally your chance to set the stage, isn't it? It's totally your territory. You can decide the direction of interview by the way you are introducing yourself. And as they say, first impression is the last impression. Your interviewer almost makes the decision based on your introduction itself. In the rest of the interview, we just try to validate our decision. So what is an introduction should look like? Well, I don't want your life story. One candidate once spoke for 7 minutes straight. He even reached to the errors that he was fixing yesterday. I had to cut him off. Out of a 30 minutes interview, 7 minutes gone just for introduction. It's a disaster, isn't it? So keep it short. Who you are, where are you from, what you have done in a nutshell, and a polite closer like looking forward to this conversation. Done. That's all you need. Yeah? Alright. Now let's move into a new section. Tips that I believe will really help you during your technical interviews. These aren't random gyan. These are patterns I have personally noticed in my own interviews, along with small piece of advice on how you can handle them better. For example, I once had a candidate who started almost every answer with I think. No? I think Kubernetes is an orchestration platform. I think these are the best practices for writing Docker file. Like that. So just imagine what will be my situation. The candidate is answering the questions all correctly, but that putting I think in the beginning is making me wonder whether the candidate is really confident about her answers or no, right? And that changes the whole game. How can I trust someone in production environment who is not sure about it? She's only thinking, right? That's the problem. So using slangs like this may be a speech habit, but in an interview, it gives the impression that you are not confident. My advice is, if you know the answer, say it directly. If you are unsure, phrase it as an attempt, but avoid weakening every answer with, I think. Okay. In another instance, I saw someone keep guessing for 3 to 4 minutes without ever landing on a proper answer. That doesn't impress the interviewer. A better approach is, if you don't know, simply say, I'm not aware, but here is my attempt, and stop there, right? That shows both honesty and self-awareness. And I personally feel this one is very important. I have seen a candidate undersell themselves. One person told me right away, I don't know Kubernetes. And then when I asked a couple of questions on Kubernetes, candidate answered all of those. Honesty is good, but this kind of statement closes the door before you even try. I have intermediate knowledge of Kubernetes, but it wasn't part of my recent project, so I need to brush up my basics. That's it. What's the problem? But you see, if it is a required skill in the job description, I do not have a choice. I have to reject the candidate who says I do not have working experience of Kubernetes. I do not hold enormous power to select candidates based on my vision that okay, because she has self-learned Kubernetes, she'll be able to do good. No, if candidate has said do not have working experience and it is a required skill in the job description, sorry, I have to reject. It works that way, okay? Something else that makes candidates stand out is asking counter question. For example, if I say migrate on-premises to cloud, don't just start throwing tools at me. Ask, what is the data security requirement? What kind of scales are we planning for? Is it a modern application or some legacy application? Because if it is a legacy application, you do not have much choice except that you want to migrate it to virtual machines. But if it is a modern application, you might want to explore Azure App Service, Kubernetes, container apps, etc. So it changes the game completely, isn't it? So instead of assuming, it's better to ask what is the requirement. And I can say with confidence, it doesn't undermine you in any way. It just shows the mature side of yours. Yeah? And finally, the most important advice, a caution. I have actually seen people using ChatGPT or similar external help during the live interviews. Please don't do that. AI is a fantastic tool for preparing and practicing before the interview. But if you try to sneak it in during the actual call, the moment you are caught, you have already lost. Better I would say, don't take my advice. Just try to record yourself. Turn the camera on of your laptop and just imagine a random question in your mind and just see yourself how it looks like on the screen when you are actually taking the help of, external tool. It could be from a dual monitor or in your mobile screen. You just film yourself and you will know. It looks so obvious that person is not actually looking at the camera but somewhere else. And that moment you are rejected. And it is a possibility that you were actually selected until you did that mistake. As an interviewer, I do not expect the candidate to know everything that I know. It never happens. So it is much better to just say, no, I don't know that answer, instead of using any kind of external help during your interview. Now, feedback. Never leave an interview without asking for your feedback. If you don't ask, why should I give it? But if you ask sincerely, I might share something valuable. One candidate had a horrible resume. I wanted to guide him, but he never asked for the feedback. Why should I waste my energy on someone who doesn't care? So if you ask, you get. If you don't, you don't. Final tip, use AI smartly. Before your interviewer, put your resume and the job description into ChatGPT. Ask it to generate questions. Prepare from those. Fun fact, your interviewer might be doing the exact same thing. So there are very good chances that you are better prepared for the interview. Yeah. Alright friends, this is what I have learned so far, and I have recorded this lecture with my current knowledge. But learning never stops, right? If you are interested, I might share more of my experiences and mistakes in a future session. So here is the deal. If you found this video helpful and want a part 2, just comment below saying you are interested. Based on your response, I'll prepare and record another one for you. Until then, stay curious, stay hungry, and I genuinely hope you land your dream job soon. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Tudum.